that we get to know each other a little bit. This will start to be a collaborative space. So I want to do some introductions. This might be a little chaotic because there's no exact order, but I'll start just kind of calling out random names, and I want you to just, when you hear your name, please tell us where you go to school, what is your year, and what is your book topic. And once again, I'll start off again. I'm Carson. I go to school at Georgetown. I'm a sophomore, and my book topic, I'm writing a book about, I think I still got to flesh out the idea a little bit more, but the basic idea is that I want to write about people that go straight from college into startups and then straight from startups into creating their own startup, because it's a very unique entrepreneurial path. And I want to really and it's potentially what I want to pursue. And I also think I can definitely take some lessons out of it. So I'm going to just do it on the order I see on my screen. I'll unmute you and then you can just give your piece. So name, school, year, and book topic. So I'll go Andrea first. Oh,
I'm,
yeah, there.
sorry. My name's Andrea,
I don't
and
think your
I'm a
microphone's working,
senior.
Andrea. I can't. Okay.
Oh, whoops.
Here, we'll come back to you. How about that?
Okay.
I can hear her.
Nico.
I can hear her.
Yeah, this is a little chaotic.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, you can hear? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my thing. Hold up.
I'll take over for Carson here. Andrea, why don't you start? We'll get Carson set.
Hi, hope everyone else can hear me, but
Sorry,
my name's
that's just my fault.
Oh, but I'm a senior and I go to the University of South Carolina in Columbia, South Carolina. And my book topic, I was thinking of doing something in like the vegan health food industry and like interview companies that make like foods that kind of are made to taste like other foods, like vegan cheese, and just see like the future of where that's heading and like talk about the sustainability of it.
Here, now we'll go with Nico. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So my name is Nico. I actually go to Arizona State University, senior, and my book title is actually pretty super interesting. I run my own company, and we focus a lot on digital guerrilla marketing. So the book title or the book topic that I said along was digital guerrilla marketing tactics. So interviewing tons of companies that are doing guerrilla marketing and how small businesses can use that to their advantage in 2018.
Awesome, that's sweet. Now we'll go with Jason.
Yeah. You hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Awesome. So again, my name is Jason, University of Puerto Rico, freshman, and my book topic is Gen Z marketing on Latin America.
Sweet. Now we'll go with Zach Olson.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. So I'm Zach. I'm a senior at Georgetown, and my book is going to be about the intersection of firefighting and medicine. Two things I'm really interested in, and I have a lot of connections with them. And I want to explore how EMS systems transition into the hospital setting and how that's different in rural and more urban areas.
Sweet, that's great. Now we'll move to Zach Hinken.
Hey everyone, I'm Zach. I'm a sophomore at Georgetown, and my preliminary sort of direction is I want to look at what the role of mentors has been in the lives of successful people, and I think I want to focus mainly on people who have started off at a disadvantaged. Have had some sort of disadvantage in their life or faced significant adversity, and how mentors have helped them get to the success that they've eventually attained.
Great, that's great to hear. Now I'll go with Samantha.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam. I am a senior at the University of Delaware. I'm writing a book about my experience with sexual assault, and I kind of want to focus on the grooming process and why victims often don't come forward. So I'd love to make it a culmination of stories with other survivors, and also interview pedophiles if that's possible to kind of get another perspective on the topic.
Awesome. That's interesting. Well, next we'll go with Peyton.
Hello, everyone. My name is Peyton. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep.
Cool. I'm a sophomore at Moore Park College. It's a 2-year university in California near Los Angeles. And I am writing my book on sustainable foods, kind of like Andrea, but with a different twist on it. Mine's going to be more about food production and how we can bring the farm closer to your table in that realm. So still working out the details, but it's going to be about that.
Awesome. Now we'll go with Julia.
Hi, I am a senior at John Carroll University, and I want to dedicate my life to helping others promote mental health awareness. So right now I'm still teetering with the topic, but I want to do a focus on students and anxiety and different anxiety disorders. So I'm still going to try to flesh out what exactly the focus is, but those are the two main focuses I want to make the book topic about.
Great. Now we'll go with Will.
Hi guys, I'm Will. I'm a senior at Georgetown, and I'm writing my book basically about the intersection between like having a strong mind and really cultivating like your mind and being conscious at work, and just business in general, management. Again, I also need to flesh out the idea a little bit more, but I do know like the number one predictor of performance in the work environment is conscientiousness. So is there anything that you can do on a daily basis to kind of increase your consciousness?
Great. Now we'll go with Maggie. Oh, you're muted. Hello. I gotcha. Thank you. Or yeah, you should be good now.
Can you hear me? I'm Maggie. I'm a sophomore at Wellesley College in Massachusetts. I have been clean and sober for 9 months now, and I'm writing a book about addiction in America and recovery in America.
Awesome. Now we'll go to Rachel.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I am a senior at New York University, and I am writing my book about something about health startups and like how managers can practice intent at all levels of the company.
Cool. That's great. Now we'll go to Isaiah.
Hi, I'm a junior information systems at Rider University in New Jersey. I'm writing a book or a book series called the Empowerment Doctrine series, and it's a holistic approach to liberating the Black community. And the first installment is the key to economic prosperity, thinking about like the finance side of things.
Sweet. Now we'll go to Drew.
I am a junior at Georgetown. I'm from Ohio. So I'm writing about the opioid epidemic and possible ways that we could approach it from a different stance to have a better outcome than what's going on right now.
Great. Next I'll go with Kelsey.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm Kelsey. I'm a senior at Georgetown, and I'm writing on the idea of working remotely as a niche career perk at a company and a way to develop your career outside of a physical office. Ideally, at the end of my book will be a playbook for an employer to implement working remotely for their employees, and a way for employees to also pitch this idea to their companies.
Great. Next we'll go to Katie.
Hi, my name is Katie. I go to John Carroll University in Cleveland. I'm a senior, and the topic that I will be looking into and diving into will be this idea of communities and communities that kind of appear and then disappear, and looking at the different ways that our society feels the need to like bridge the gap between these in-person communities and online communities.
Awesome. Next we'll go to Grace. Grace, are you there? Oh, there she
Yeah,
is.
can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, awesome. So I want to explore the intersection between law and politics, and I know it's a pretty huge topic, so I'm going to start from interview judges and see their career paths and how partisanship and politics play into their legal career. And I am a junior at Georgetown.
Great. Next we'll go with Amelia.
Hi. Hey guys. My name is Amelia. I'm studying computer engineering and business at the University of Michigan. My topic is the art of cold email and other cold outreach strategies. I just radically believe that communication, whether it be person to person or business to people and business to business, can radically transform profitability, margins, and I'm hoping this book can shed some light on some tactical details and insight into cold email and outreach tactics.
Great. And then Allie.
Hi, I'm Allie. I'm a senior at Georgetown. And essentially, I'm planning to attempt to destigmatize mental illness by sharing stories of highly accomplished people and how they both deal with stress and manage their own mental health in order to be successful in their respective fields.
Great. And last but not least, Jerry. You there, Jerry? Oh, yep, there he is.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is Jerry. I'm a student at Binghamton University. It's in upstate New York. And my topic is basically on big actors who took a traditional college route and like how they basically got to like where they're at. Presumably like Hollywood actors basically who took like a non-traditional acting route, like they went the regular college route, but then like just took a 360 and went into acting basically.
Sweet. All right, great. Well, that should be everybody. I think I got everybody. All right, great. Now we're gonna move on to the star of the show today. It's Eric's turn to do the session. Once again, I want to give him a big thank you on behalf of all of us for teaching us this semester. We're really excited, and I'll turn it over to him.
Awesome. Thanks a ton, Carson, first off. And I think I would say when Carson said, hey, would you teach this class? Like, I really want to write a book. You're not teaching it. I was like, well, like if anyone's interested. And so it's really like inspiring to see all of you guys see these awesome topics. And I will tell you the thing that I've loved most about kind of like Carson putting this together and pulling it off is he's like, damn it, I'm going to make sure every one of these people get published. So that's inspiring. And I'm glad you have someone kind of so much in your corner. And I'm excited to sort of be a part of this journey for you guys. So before I really dive into some of the stuff tonight, I just wanted to share kind of a couple core things. Like nobody wants to sit here and listen to like a lecture. So like we're going to try and avoid that as much as possible. I'll be sending kind of a video that I put together usually at the start of the week, sort of start of the weekend for you guys to watch. So you can watch those sorts of things. And then we'll try and make these sessions very action-oriented discussions. We'll break into small groups. So the idea of these is to make it very action-focused. Again, I will always try and send a video that talks about what we're kind of mainly talking about to watch sometime on your own. But then this will be things that they'll be action focused. So today we'll do things like kind of updating your social profiles to help with interviewing. We're going to be reaching out to some of your like close friends and family who you might want to interview for your books. And then we're going to talk about the 5-minute favorite today. So that'll be it. And then the other thing to know is several of you guys, it was awesome talking to you guys this week. Several of you asked like, hey, how's the best way to, ask questions, engage, touch base with me? Just send me a quick message. I will respond like very quickly. As Carson knows, having met me for a while, I'm pretty quick. So I will respond as quickly as possible. So if you ever have questions, just shoot me a note. Carson is always a huge, great resource. But if you're thinking about something you just want to know, shoot a message to either of us. Both of us try and be pretty responsive and quick on that stuff. So I'll really quick, any initial quick questions before I just dive into the core stuff tonight? We're going to try and accomplish some things tonight where we're going to get stuff going, but any very quick questions that anyone has? All right, I'm going to rock into it. We'll save some time for discussions and things like that. So let me open up the slides here really quickly and dive into it. So you guys can see my screen, Carson, y'all?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're going to help you all publish a book by June, which is bonkers crazy a little bit, but it's totally doable. And again, as Carson shared, 25 out of 25 people that we took through this experience last year are publishing. And so we have a group of authors publishing in like 2 days. And so it's awesome. I know it feels a little bit kind of overwhelming and intimidating, but please know it's not, as long as you kind of play by the rules. But again, I think if you feel it's a little overwhelming, don't worry. The goal here is not to make you overwhelmed. It's to know that like we're here to sort of structure this for you. So don't worry about writing a book at this point. Worry about kind of like checking off the things every week and making progress, because if you do that, you will be able to write a book. It's just about putting in time. So as I tell people, we're going to, really try and help you try and focus these session times together, spend time during the week writing, creating, and then really you have a lot of your time over your winter break to really create a lot of the final concept for your manuscript. So again, that's the goal. But no, it is a process. You're not going to write a book over a weekend. You're going to write a book over the next 4 months together with an entire group. So every week we'll set up specific targets for you, things to accomplish and goals. We're going to, we want you to put daily time on your calendar. So update your kind of book office hours and use them. Go to a coffee shop and work on this stuff every week. We'll have these regular group sessions every single week, just getting together. I know you may feel like, oh gosh, I'll skip or whatever it is, but like, we're going to get you together. We're going to pair you up with another author to make sure you've got like an accountability buddy along the way. We're going to help make sure you feel like this is like something that we're all doing together, because we're going to have an awesome launch event this summer in New York City. I have a rooftop deck reserved for all of you to come to and launch your books. The guy who's going to be doing it makes really great, really great Manhattans. So you're all going to come, and it's going to be exciting. But think about that in the future. Know this is a process we're going to do together. And throughout this time, there's going to be coaching. Carson is here. Again, I call him Coach Carson for a reason. 25 out of the 25 authors he helped last time was great. And when he said, I want to do this, I was like, if you're in, I will help do this one and volunteer my time. So we're here to do it together. Just remember, it's a process. There's weekly targets, but don't freak out if you miss a target or not. The goal is there's sort of 3 core milestones we're going to accomplish over the next couple months. We're going to get smart, we're going to create stories, and then we're ultimately going to use that to kind of get ourselves to a place where we have something to our hands. So our goal is to create sort of this mediocre 25,000 word first draft of your book by January 15th. Now, it seems crazy to think about, but again, as Carson said, everyone last semester was able to do it, and you are going to do it too. So don't get overwhelmed and be like, oh God, I'm quitting. I'm not doing this one. Listen, this is going to be the most important thing you do in your college career. I promise you, this will transform your life. This is how people get jobs. I have 5 people out of the group who've gone on to venture capital jobs. I have people who've gotten startups funded, all these things. We have of this group of, they do this thing called the 25 under 25. 4 of our authors are on that 25 under 25 list in their respective state and city. So this is a great, powerful tool. And so, I know that there's a lot of things competing for your time, but remember, we're here for you. We're going to help you pull this thing off. So tonight, we're going to accomplish 3 things tonight that we're going to really focus on, action-oriented. We're going to spend about probably 15 minutes on each of them. And remember, every time you come here, we're going to try and check things off the to-do list for the week. You'll do other things, but that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to help you update your social profiles. I'm going to help you look like an author so that when you start doing outreach, you're going to have a profile of a soon-to-be author. Number 2, I'm going to help you start to reach out to friendlies. These are people that you already know in your network for interviews. As I shared with Carson, I'm going to go out this week and find out all these people in my network that I can introduce you to, and do the same. If you hear someone's topic idea, and you're like, you hear Jerry's topic about people who became actors. If your uncle's an actor and could talk to Jerry, introduce you to Jerry. Or if you know someone who's a Gen Z in sort of Latin America that Jason can talk to, then introduce them. Do these sorts of things. This is a community. We're going to help one another out along the way. So we talk about reaching out to friendlies, and then I'm going to teach you this powerful technique called the 5-minute favor, and you're going to all do several 5-minute favors tonight. All right, so first thing we're going to do, all of you are writing books, and we're going to help you look the part, because you're going to start to reach out to people in the next sort of 3 to 4 weeks, really trying to get them to interview them for your book. Your book is going to be made up of stories. As you heard in some of the sessions I already talked about, I want you to look like a soon-to-be successful author. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to transform your public profile to look like an author. So you all need to remember that I know you're sort of early in this process and you're like, gosh, I don't know, it's going to be hard. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to signal out to your network that we're going to do this one. So I want all of you to open up a browser window if you haven't already, and you're going to do the following things. The first thing that we're going to do is you are going to update some combination of your Twitter profile, your bio, your Instagram bio, and Facebook, whatever combination, all, some, whatever it is. And I want you to write the following on your bio. Working title of the book, expected publication. That's what I want you to do. And if you want to, you can even write in there the publisher name, and I'll add this in here for you. Your publisher is New Degree Press. So the reason that we do this on your profiles is that the following thing is going to happen. You're going to start to reach out to people, and they're going to say, hey, Zach, like, is Zach a legit author, or is he just kidding around? Or is Katie really serious about this one? What they're going to want to see is, do you have something that's publicly on there? So right now, go ahead and update at least one of your social profiles, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, with this one here. While you're doing that, the second thing that you're going to do is you're all going to update your LinkedIn in the same way. This one will require a little bit different here, is I want you to add a new job to your LinkedIn. I want you to add a job title of author with the working title of your book. Even if you don't know what it is, don't worry, it can change a lot of times. And the title of your publisher is going to be New Degree Press. Expected publication June 2019. So all of you should take the next 5 or so minutes and go on and update your profiles, update some combination of Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and for sure LinkedIn. Now again, here's the reason why. When you reach out to people, they're gonna look you up right away. They're gonna ask, like, is Jason really legit, or is this just some like waste of my time? Or, you know, is Rachel really working on this book? Is that for real? So the core things to have are 3 things: a title of your book, the publication date, and a publisher. Those 3 things will legitimize you as you go out. So I'm gonna pause there for just a couple minutes and have everyone sort of make sure that they have done that as you go. So I'm gonna give you a little activity to do. There's a button here on your page when you're ready. I think you can raise your hand, right? Isn't there a button to like raise your hand when you're done, Carson?
Yeah, let me find it. I think it's under share, maybe? No. Here, I'll look for it and tell you.
Yeah, so there's a way to, when you're done, just raise your hand so we know everyone's done. But spend the next 5 minutes. We'll wait till between now and the next 6 minutes till 9:30. Update your profiles, and if you have questions on it, let me know. Feel free to ask questions while you're doing it, but update your profiles. I know you may be thinking, well, gosh, this sounds like an aggressive thing. I'm telling you, the reason to do this one is it will signal in a powerful way when you're reaching out to people that you are serious about this and that they can know to talk to you that way. So update some combination. And if you don't have one of these or all of them, or you're sort of like, listen, I only want to use Facebook for my friends, that's fine. Just remember, my recommendation is you'll use Twitter as a tool, even if you don't use it yet, or maybe Instagram, but for sure LinkedIn, and add it as a new job title, New Degree Press, author, working title, expected publication June 2019.
Quick question.
Yep.
I was asking if we should tag Creator Institute or New Degree Press into our LinkedIn company side of things.
So do New Degree Press. That's the one that you want. That's the publisher they're going to care about. So that's what I would use. Again, the core sort of signaling is that you have a publisher, and New Degree Press is the publisher. Again, you certainly can not choose to publish down the road, but for now, while you're starting, use New Degree Press, and you can always change that down the road.
Hey, Eric, I have a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we're thinking about a successful title, I know we might change it a couple of times, but is there anything that we should stay away from, or that might be more successful than something else?
So I would at the start try not to be too cute, right? And what I mean by that is to try and be descriptive in some ways about, whatever it is, it's, modern mental health, right? Or whatever it may be, just to sort of, or something that, if you already have a title in mind, just use it. But for now, I wouldn't totally worry about it. I would avoid things that are controversial. I would avoid trying to sort of, use curse words in it or something like that. But for now, I think start with the working title, and you'll probably find that over the next month, you'll hone in on something that's better. I'll tell you the following funny story. I've only had 3 authors in the 100 or so that have published that picked a title in the first week or so that stuck all the way through. One of my favorites is a woman named Devin. She pitched the idea of swiping right as her book title, and that was such a great title that she kept it all the way through, even though she was like, I was like, well, this might change. She's like, this book title is not changing. So hers stayed all the way.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely.
By the way, to raise your hand, I think it's on the manage participants or like the participants button at the bottom. I can't see it because I'm the host because it lets me know when you raise your hand.
Okay.
But yeah, there you go. I see. Yeah, great. Awesome. People are doing it is what I'm saying. So just keep doing it when you're done.
I have a quick question.
Absolutely.
So this is something that I just found out just now, but I posted my bio on Facebook and it said post your bio to newsfeed. And I didn't know because I have a lot of people who I want to get connected with who are on my Facebook page that I don't know too well. Is that something I should wait to post? I shouldn't post that to my newsfeed now?
Yeah, I wouldn't post it to your newsfeed yet if I were you. What I'll actually show you how to do this week is I have sort of a template post that I would do on your social media platforms announcing this. So I would update the profiles and I would announce it a little bit like later on this week, engaging to people. So I think you will want to announce this to say, hey, who can help me out? You'll be amazed if the people will come out of the woodworks when you ask, but I wouldn't post this to the newsfeed. I would post a specific ask saying the types of people that you want to get connected to.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, you will all be amazed, I'll tell you, at who will come out of the woodwork and like want to help. One of the other things you'll hear is people like, hey, hey, Julie, I want to write a book. How did you do this? Or how's this go? Just expect a few of those to come your way as well. And you're going to have to convince Carson to do this again if that's going to be the case. But for now, you can feel free to save their names and say, I'll introduce you to Professor Custer at some point down the road. And one other thing while you're doing LinkedIn, I think I'm connected to a lot of you, but please do make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn. The reason you can connect with me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook as well, but for specifically LinkedIn, if you find anyone in my network that I'm connected to, you want an introduction to, ask right away. Like, please send me a note on it. I will connect you to anyone within reason that I can. So connect with me on LinkedIn, go through my profile and find anyone that you want to interview. I will be going through my profiles this week or my network this week, and we'll probably be sending you a few names to say, hey, Peyton, you should probably, talk to this, and this, or whoever it may be. So I'll try and get you a few names to do, that I think could be helpful based on who I know. We'll give it just one more minute, and then I'll kind of start talking about the next thing that we'll start to go into, because again, I want to keep it going. But again, make sure you update your profiles in this way. There is a real legitimacy to adding this to your piece. And again, it's a commitment. You're working on a book here. You're going to commit to it. You're signaling in that way. So make the commitment. And when part of it is when people look you up to see if they should even bother to do an interview with you, this will help them know that you're serious.
Wait, so quick question. So
yeah, absolutely.
You did this stuff. Is there anything else that may help me like a little bit a step ahead? Already did the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, I think the core thing will be is to use those tools. We'll talk about it a little bit. Use those tools to sort of continue to make targeted asks a bit more. So we'll talk a little bit next week about how to use social to kind of engage with people. And we'll do today this little trick called the 5-minute favor that I'll teach you about a little more so that'll help you really elevate your game as you're trying to connect with people. All right, Carson, you want me to keep going?
Yeah. Remember to keep raising your hand when you're done with the social media thing. Great.
Perfect.
How do we do that again?
What's up?
How do we do that again?
It's under participants towards the bottom. On the bottom side of your screen. Yeah, so most of you are getting it. Okay. Yeah, no, basically everyone's got it. Yeah, you can move on, Eric.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is friendlies. So I'm going to post in our chat room this tonight or tomorrow. Actually, I'll probably send it to Carson to post, kind of like the template of what I would suggest you post on your social media networks. I would wait until doing it during the workday. I would post it on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter, whatever it is, to sort of ask for help in these sorts of things. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to try and start to reach out to a few friendlies. Now, just very quickly to understand, there's sort of 3 main types of people that are likely going to be in your book, right? Who are the people that you want to interview? There's going to be famous people, hopefully, and either you're going to interview them live or you're going to research them. So these are people who you know, right? You know them by name. So Elon Musk or, sort of Martha Stewart, you know their names regardless of what they are, but that's one type. The second type is notable people in famous organizations. So let's just say, for example, I'll pick on, I don't know who I want to pick on here. We'll pick on Peyton wanting to do something kind of in the sort of food space a little bit or whatever it is. Maybe, having someone from Campbell's, right? Like, because that's an organization that's in the food space, that even if it's not sort of the CEO of Campbell's, but it's someone at Campbell's will be helpful to you to be able to sort of have that name associated in your book. I talked to Joe Smith from Campbell's, and so that will be helpful to do to have someone in your book. And then the third one is actually a funny one. It's people you already know. And so people you already know are people that you're close to, you can get help from to sort of already do these sorts of things. So what we call those people you already know are friendlies. And so the first thing that I would suggest is like add those people to your list. As you're building out your list, remember, these don't have to be sort of the most amazing people. Remember, you're going to have some time to hopefully have some famous people and some notable people, but you kind of just want some friendlies. Oh yeah, my uncle might not be a perfect person. I might even want to use them in the book, but they have some interesting things on that regard. So here's what we're going to wind up doing is I want you to right now to reach out to 5 friendlies that you have. We're going to spend 10 minutes and just reach out to people you already know. And so you probably already have connection to some of the people on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and Facebook. My advice to you when you reach out to them, these people you already know, is the following. Only reach out to these people if you can avoid sending them an email. So what I mean by that is you should most likely send them a text message. Second best, send them some kind of a DM or some kind of a personal message like Facebook Messenger or direct message on Twitter or whatever it is. And third, and sort of, least likely, is send them a message on LinkedIn. But I want you to send sort of 5 messages to people saying, hey, I'm working on a book. Do you think I can interview you? Now, when they get back to you, when they do, please do not schedule an interview for this week. Make sure you schedule it for October 1st or later, because next week in the session, Carson asked me to talk about how to teach people, how do you do better interviews. So we're going to talk about that, send you that stuff. But I want you to send at least 5 messages to people who might be able to do it. Now, again, don't worry if these people are awesome. They could be someone you went to class with who worked at a company. They could be a college student. They could be, your uncle or your family member. But I want you to send 5 messages to people. And again, it's either a text message, a direct message on Twitter, or a sort of using Facebook Messenger to send them a message. Send 5 notes right now, and we'll spend between now and the next sort of like 8 minutes or so kind of doing this one to people that you think it would be interesting to talk to in the next couple of weeks, people you already know. So if you don't know those people yet, go onto LinkedIn and start to hunt through it. Find people that might be interesting in your connections there, or look on Facebook. Who are the people? Or look at the text messages you've had and see who do you think you could talk to, and just ask them the following question. Hey, I'm working on a book. Do you think I could interview you sometime in the next couple of weeks or so? And that's really it. These should be people that you already know. All right, so take the next few minutes, and then when you sort of have sent your 5 messages, don't overthink it. These should be people you already know. I'm working on a book. Can I sit down with you and chat about it? Can I interview you? Whatever it is. But remember, if they say yes, don't schedule it until after after October 1st. So go ahead and take a few minutes and do that one, and then when you've got your 5 messages out there, go ahead and raise the hand again so we can move on to the last piece of tonight.
And while we're doing that, we had someone else join the call. Amanda, if you want to introduce yourself with your name, your school, what year you are, and your topic, that'd be great.
Hi, yeah, so I'm a sophomore in the SFS studying STIA. Sorry, I apologize, I'm a little sick right now. But my topic, it's not fully decided at the moment, but it was going to be the intersection of travel and probably sustainability, although I'm not sure where I'm going with that just now.
All right, great, thanks. Yeah.
So 5 messages to people that you already know somewhere in your network. Again, ideal if you can send them a text message. Second best if you can send them a Facebook Messenger or a Twitter message. Third best if you can send them a message on LinkedIn. But just a quick note, again, don't worry if they're the perfect person, just someone that you're going to talk to, because you're going to want to get in the habit of this one. 5 people that you could engage with. Someone asked the question about professors. What if I know a professor? Probably don't text your professor at 9:30 at night. You can probably send them an email. Pretty certain they'll get back to you. But put them as a friendly if you want. Send them an email. For the most part, try to send these people a message. If there's someone who's maybe a sort of former boss or whatever it is, send them an email tomorrow. But try to find 5 people that you're close enough with that you feel comfortable sending them sort of a Facebook message or that one. Again, the reason is they'll be, if you have that friendly relationship, you can start and get kind of those like early interviews out of the way a little bit. So you want to try and get 5 people who you're friendly with already. Again, these could be people that are uncles, aunts. They could be people that you formerly worked with before. But I'm just saying there are 5 messages. Don't overthink it. Just ask to talk to them. The easy ones are people that you look on LinkedIn, you're like, oh gosh, I didn't know they worked at this company, or oh gosh, like this person could be helpful. But already people you know, friends of yours. Just try and book an interview for next week, not this week, but the following week. It's a good sign, team. Many of you pulling out your phones. I like this. We're going in the right direction here. Just while you're doing it, just so everyone sort of knows in the back of their mind, the core of your book is going to be really interesting stories. And so you're going to be surprised at where those come from, but we're going to be making sure over the next 3 weeks that you've scheduled at least 10 interviews with people. So these are people, some of these are going to be people you already know. Some of them might be people I can introduce you to. Some of them will be people that will start to reach out to cold. But again, the goal over really between now and sort of the end of October is really to have 10 or 12 really solid interviews scheduled. Some of them you've held. Because that's where the core of your stories are going to be. We're also going to teach you how to do these sort of secondary interviews. So Elon Musk might be tough, but you know, if Zach is dead set on interviewing Elon Musk, we'll teach you a way to sort of facilitate what is almost like an interview from this thing called a secondary interview that we'll talk about in 2 weeks. But yeah, so for now, just keep focused on that.
I see some of you are still raising your hands. You can, I mean, I think that like once you raise your hand, it stays there, but remember to, I guess, do it again when you're done.
All right, Carson, give me the heads up when you want me to move on to the next piece of this here.
Yeah, guys, just continue to keep raising your hands. I think we should give it maybe like 9:45, so like 2 more minutes, and then we should keep going.
Yeah, and if you don't know who are friendly people, again, hunt on LinkedIn, stuff like that. Again, you'll be surprised. And again, I'll be sending Carson kind of a message to post on social media this week. You'll find that there may be sort of hidden gems of people who will help you introduce you to more people. Just telling people like, hey, I'm writing a book is a big thing that people will get excited about. So we'll help, that'll help goose some of this too, but we're going to really hit the ground running. This is going to be the place where you're going to, get yourself smart so that when we flip into writing, you're going to have really great content to write. That's why we focus a lot on this, and we'll be doing this every week for the next 3 weeks. And then we'll flip into writing, and we'll really be getting after sort of the writing element of this one. We'll be writing stories every week during this session to kind of get you moving, making progress. I'm so excited. God, I just am really stoked to be doing this.
Yeah, me too. It's great.
I wasn't teaching it this semester, so blame Carson if this is terrible, but thank Carson if it's awesome. So this is exciting.
Hopefully more thank yous than. Yeah.
There'll be moments when you'll all hate Carson. When there's moments when you're like working, you're like writing, and you're like, this is terrible and awful. But when we're all drinking Manhattans, overlooking Manhattan in New York City, you'll all be super happy. So remember, like June 14th or something like that is the date that we're all going to be in New York City together, launching your books. You're going to have it in your hand. Keep that in mind. It's going to be awesome. Rachel, you can host us.
Sorry?
You can host us.
I could. I've got a lot of rooftops. Spoiler alert, the only problem about drinking in Manhattan is that you can't see Manhattan totally, but
true. Yeah, true. Well, we're going to count on you to be the tour guide though, okay?
Sure. Do you know where your friend is?
Yeah, he's at so it's a weird thing. It's a friend of a friend, but it is he is a 10-time Tony Award winner, and so he has the penthouse of this place on where is it? I'll get you the address. You'll have to tell us if it's good or bad, but it has pretty awesome views, to be honest.
I feel like it's going to be better than any rooftop I could have gotten.
It's pretty awesome. It's very awesome. So he would do it. He has a library of all of your books now. Every time I send him the new books that come out, so you guys will be in it.
Oh,
great.
I was expecting like a dive bar.
No,
that sounds like a lot better.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. I promise you, it's gonna be great.
All right, I think we should probably move on. But
all right, cool. Well, so now we're gonna talk a little bit about how to get non-friendlies, and so these are people that you don't already know. And again, this is the thing that we're gonna be really hammering on for the next few weeks of how to get these people that you don't know. So I'm gonna teach you a really interesting technique to talk about a little bit. So the first thing I want to talk about is how do you build this list. Right. And again, I want you all to continue to be building this list of all these people. I think my homework that I gave most of you was, build your list, keep adding names to it, be hunting. That's what I want you continuing to do for the next few weeks and months. You're going to find that you're going to keep adding people as it goes, as you're curious about it. Some of these people are going to be famous, like going to be difficult for you to get into, to read to do an interview with you, but others of them may be people at organizations you want to connect in, whatever it may be. So the first thing that I'll tell you as you're building this list is go to places like LinkedIn, hunt around and see, people that are in your network, second degree connections, find people that you think could be interesting. The second one that I'll tell you is a really powerful place as you're building this list. Startups are really, really interesting places to sort of interview because they're very accessible. And so check out AngelList, find startups that are doing interesting stuff in your space, even if you might not seem, Grace is doing something in the intersection of law and politics, but there's probably a startup doing something in that space. And AngelList allows you to reach out to these people, and people who are in startups are always happy to engage. So find people that way. Find interesting TED Talks that you're interested in following, right? These might be people that are like, hey, they've given a really interesting talk, or you find someone that's given a speech on YouTube. Find people that way. Find interesting conversations. Just Google, right? Like hunt around for people that are featured in articles, whatever it is. But just, find people that are interesting, add them into your list, even if you can't get in touch with them yet. They're going to be helpful. And then the last thing is look for people that are in kind of niche trade press. So there's a woman named Clara who's publishing tomorrow or Tuesday, and she realized she's writing a book about walking, how walking can help us improve our world, which is sort of a funny topic. But she realized there's like a whole conference, a whole organization dedicated to walking, which I was like, that's crazy. But you may find something like that if you can find your seam into it. So add yourself into that list of doing that. Now, again, the core thing that I want all of you to be thinking about is just keep adding names to this list. You have the interview dashboard, just add people to it. Again, the goal for you over the next few weeks is to get to at least 40 or 50 or 60 people on that list. You may not talk to them, but there was a guy, Chris, who published on Tuesday. He's a student from Northwestern. He's like literally, he's writing a book on Asian Americans who did kind of unusual paths to where they wanted to go. He had 100 interviewed over the course of this period of time that like, he just like reached out to people on the Forbes 30 under 30 list and they got back to him. So whenever you think someone could be interesting, add them to your list. Don't worry about it too much. Now, the question you may be asking is, how am I going to get in touch with them? So we're going to teach you something super powerful, and Carson has seen the power of this one, called the 5-minute favor. And so the 5-minute favor really is a way for you to make an ask to people without feeling like you're just sort of a taker from someone. Now, what this plays on a lot is the psychology of sort of feeling like someone owes you something. All right, that's sort of what this is like, you know, if Will would reach out to me and say, hey, Eric, I need a favor. I'm busy, right? Like, it's a lot of stuff. I'd be like, ah, gosh. But if Will does something nice for me, right? He sort of says, hey, Eric, I donated to your charity, or hey, Eric, I reviewed your podcast, or whatever it is. Psychologically, I feel a little bit of guilt inside of it, and I feel like I owe one to Will. So what we're going to use is we're going to use that treatment in order to get people to do it. We're going to use the 5-minute favor as a technique that you can get more people to owe you one. And I'll tell you how well this works. So Clara, the woman I told you who's writing a book, publishing a book on walking, she reached out to 40 people over a 1-week period. She reached out to them and she did this 5-minute favor thing where she did something really simple that I'll tell you about in a minute. 26 of the 40 people got back to her and agreed to do an interview. So this works crazy. One of the people who did not get back to her was Mark Zuckerberg. So, you know, she wasn't like shooting low, but she really did this one. So here's how the 5-minute favor essentially works. You're going to start with the following thing. All the people on this list, I want you to connect with them on social media. So you remember how we basically already got your social media upgraded. I want you to do, that's going to be the first part of it, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it may be. You're going to start by connecting on one of those platforms. Then you're going to do something nice for them publicly. Now, these are simple things. These are really like 1 to 2 minute favors. You're going to do something like go onto Amazon and review their book and then tell them about it. You're going to review their podcast and tell them about it. You're going to share their cause. You're going to share their content. Something really, really simple that you can do that they're going to get to see you. So, for example, you know, you might do something very simple. I'll give you a very quick story in this one. There's this guy who I know named Chris Voss, and Chris is a Wall Street Journal bestseller. He's the leading hostage negotiator for the U.S. for the FBI. He literally negotiates for people who are in bank robberies and like stuff like that. Super legit dude. And so I asked him, I was like, what's the one way that someone could get you to do, to talk to them, to do an interview with you? And he goes, listen, Eric, I get reached out to all the time. Like 5 or 6 people reach out to for favors all the time. If someone would go and say, and review my book, just leave a short, 2-sentence review of my book on Amazon and tell me they did it, I'm pretty sure I would do an interview with him. And I was like, are you serious? Like, you're a legit dude. He's like, absolutely. So these are really, really simple things that you can do for them that make them feel like you've actually contributed in some way, shape, or form that gets them to do that. So that's what you're going to do. Then you're going to connect with them on email and LinkedIn and reference it to say, hey, listen, Chris, I just, I read your book and I basically did a review of it online. I just want to say how much I really enjoyed it. You're not going to ask for anything like that. Once they get back to you, then you're going to make your ask. So that's the secret of the 5-minute favor. Now you're going to have one other thing in it. You've already listed that you've got a publisher. So you can basically, my publisher and I thought you'd be a good person to interview. So what I want you to do right now for the next few minutes is I want you to go online and I want you to do 3 5-minute favors. People you'd love to interview who think are sort of out there doing something interesting. Find those 3 people and I want you to do something really, really simple. If they're an author, I want you to go on Amazon and review their book and then post about that on social media. So if Chris Voss is someone you want to interview, I want you to go on Amazon, leave a very, very short review of his book, whatever it is, and then I want you to go on social media and tell about it. I just read, I think it's Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It's awesome. Left a great review on Amazon. Keep up the good work, Chris. Right? That's what I want you to do. I want you to do 3 of those 5-minute favors over the next, few minutes. I don't know if you'll get them all done by 10 o'clock, but I want you to do 3 of them, and then we'll wrap up with the stuff that we'll be doing over the next week.
And so, do you want these to be like actually genuine? Because like, what if some of the people that I want to talk to, I haven't necessarily studied on them yet?
Yeah, I would still do a 5-minute favor. I mean, I think you could say something nice about their podcast or their book, even if you haven't done a ton of depth on it. Do something nice to them. And then, again, make sure before you actually interview with them, you do the homework on it. But I think you can do these nice things for people that will make them. Again, I'll tell you a true story. Like my podcast, I started a podcast a few weeks ago that I put out there. Of my trailer, I had something like 14,000 people listen to the trailer, but I've only had like a couple hundred people downloading each episode on the podcast. So I know that people who say, yeah, of course, I've been, listening to your podcast, definitely have not. But if they say something nice about it, I'll do something nice for them. So try and do 3 5-minute favors. Someone you'd love to get to talk to. You already follow them on social media. Do something nice for them publicly. Simple, simple, simple. Share their content. If they did a blog post, get it out there. Awesome blog post that Isaiah just published. Keep up the great work, right? And share that blog post to your feed. Make sure you tag that person into it, but just do something nice for them. Because then what you're going to do later on this week or at the next session, you're going to send them a quick email saying, hey, listen, I loved your article. Keep up the great work. I shared it with my social feed or whatever it is. You're going to do this a bunch of times, and you'll find that this will be the tool that will get you access to some really great people. So spend the next few minutes. Yeah, question. Remember, you have to both do something nice and say it publicly. So if you review them on Amazon and you don't tell them that you review them on Amazon, they won't know. So make sure that you actually do it and tell them about it so that they will recognize your name or your face from that. Again, my 2 recommendations, the best place to do these sorts of things are on Twitter or on Instagram. Those are the best tools to be able to do it, just because they allow you to sort of be a little bit more public about those sorts of things with people. Twitter may be probably the best one, just because it's really easy. So take 3 more minutes. You may not get through 3 of these ones, but at least try to do 1 tonight where you do 1 5-minute favor. Some people always ask me the question, hey, some of the people I want to meet don't, they're not active on social media or whatever it is. I will just tell you the following. It is difficult to get people to interview for your book if they're not active on social media, period. So if you're like, hey, these people aren't on social media or whatever it is, try and find people that are. It's just difficult. If someone's not particularly open on social media, they're probably going to be tough to be open for you to want to interview. So try to find more people. If you're like, hey, I can't find these people, they're not there. It's probably because you may be too niche in who it is, but try to find people that are on social media. They're more likely to be open, willing, game to sort of talk. They'll probably often even have an ego that they're willing to sort of engage with you in that regard. Sort of people want to feel good. So that's part of the reason you're playing into their ego in these sorts of ways. All right, so I want to keep us on time here. So I'm going to kind of do the last things, spend the last few minutes, try and get at least 3 5-minute favors. Keep doing it. I will tell you the thing about it. Like, doing 5-minute favors will make you feel good. I know it's sort of weird to think, but like, it's a fun thing to just be doing nice things for people. I literally now have something on my computer where I list that says, do 5-minute favors. I just try and do things every week because I realize when I'm doing nice things for other people, good stuff comes out. So do a bunch of them. And again, my goal for you this week is to try and do 20 5-minute favors by this Friday. Block off some time, just do it. Spend time, do five or six a day. Just do them. You're going to find that it will make you feel good. It'll connect you. It'll like drive more things. You'll be amazed if you tweet out these nice things that you've done for people that you will get so many retweets, connections, stuff like that, just because you're seen as a nice person. And then you're going to do 20 more the following week. So we're going to do 40 of these 5-minute favors over the next 2 weeks because it's going to help you connect with really great people. Once you sort of get embedded with these people, they'll follow you on Twitter, DM them, you're going to connect with them on LinkedIn, whatever it is. But next week we'll talk about kind of emailing them if you want. But again, once they connect with you or whatever it is, feel free to sort of try to set up interviews. We'll talk next week about doing any interviews. Just remember, do not try and schedule interviews this week. Wait till next week. I'll teach you how to do really good interviews and stuff like that. But this week, try to focus on, remember, our goal is to get at least 10 interviews booked over the next 3 weeks. At least 10 booked. Don't have to have them completed, but booked. And the more you can do, the better, right? I think most people who really enjoy this process meet a bunch of people from it. So don't just stop, but remember, that's going to be the core of meeting great people. So that's really what we've got for this week. I think, keep enjoying the process. The goal of this is to make you an expert. I will send a couple things. I'll send a little video I put together. I'll send it to Carson to post about how to do a 5-minute favor. I think Carson will probably post this video. But this week, try and get people to say yes to you to do this one. I will try and make sure that every single one of you gets at least one person or 1 or 2 names from my network that you can interview and reach out to. My goal is for you to hit the ground running, and the more people you can be talking to and learning from is great. Don't worry anything about writing, any of that sort of stuff. This week, focus on hardcore, doing 5-minute favors. Listen, if you can do more than that, awesome. It's really, really great to sort of boot up the curve. So that's sort of all that I got, Carson. I will hand the show back to you. And yeah, there we go.
Awesome. Thanks for the session. No, it was a great session. I did some of those already, and I'm looking forward to doing 20 more, I guess, this week. It's going to be great. And all of you, I hope you all do the same. So yeah, just a few last minute things. Thanks for everyone coming. You don't have to come to the session tomorrow or anything. This will be uploaded if you want to review it, or if you have any questions. And if you have any questions, or as we said at the very beginning, if you have any doubts or concerns that you really want to talk about, please reach out to me. I have a very flexible schedule, and I'll make time for you. Please make sure that you do that. And because my goal is to make sure all of you publish. And just to give you a couple pieces of advice to begin that I've seen from other authors that have gone through the process, it's very important to be proactive. It's very important to stay organized. As you're doing all these things with your interviews, and you're coming up with targets and you're reaching out to them, try and track it in your interview dashboard. I'll be updating mine to hopefully stand as the example, but definitely keep making sure yours looks good, because a pretty interview dashboard and a pretty stories index and all that is a successful author. So so I think that's all I have. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you do your 20 interviews, and make sure your clip notifications are on so that you can see whenever me or Eric or Brian or whoever uploads into the everyone chat. But yeah, so thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you next week.